Why is the world upside down? What do you mean by the world being upside down? Is it people being upside down? The good people being bad, bad people being good? People who would take care of their family are no longer taking care of the family. It's them that are hurting the family. My name is Joad and welcome to my channel. What am I talking about? The world being upside down. Let's talk about glaciers. Let's talk about the ice melting. Let's talk about all of that. Let's talk about the carbon emissions. Let's talk about our planet dying, but it's trying to rebuild itself. Let's talk about the food that we eat. Let's talk about the life that we live. Let's talk about our environment. There's so many aspects of it. You could talk about all those things. But let's start off first with the glaciers and the rivers and the way our planet is slowly transforming. How do you know? Let's look at the rivers. Let's look at the droughts. Let's look at the North Pole. Let's look at the South Pole. Let's look at our entire Earth. How many of you heard, oh, the glaciers are melting, the glaciers are melting. What are we gonna do? Is it gonna flood the entire world because we're gonna have way more water? But where's it gonna go? At the same time, now we're having droughts. Look at the droughts in Texas. Look at the droughts in California. Look at the droughts in so many other places. We have all this water, but yet there's droughts. There's droughts on all these places. Look at farmers, they're having droughts. There's a way to help those farmers, but if they want my help, get a hold of me, because I would love to help. Let's talk about the rivers. Let's talk about how some rivers are no longer getting water, how places that used to have plenty of water are now in droughts. How many years has it been that these places have been in droughts? Where are we gonna create water that's healthy for us, that we can drink? Let's talk about that. How are we gonna stop the glaciers from melting? Is that gonna be a negative effect or is it a positive effect? What happens to the Earth if that does happen? Scientists have been doing so many studies, different tests, and watching the environment for so long that they keep trying to figure out what's going on. They keep trying to figure out how to reduce the carbon emissions. They keep trying to allow us to grow technology-wise while reducing our carbon footprint. The next thing I want to talk about is let's look at our forests. Let's look at our forests. Let's look at our plants. Let's look at our food source. Because of this drought, because of us having water but not having enough water, or having water at the right places or the places that we need them, it's affecting our crops, it's affecting our plant life, it's affecting things that help preserve our planet. What are we doing to change that? What if we could change that? I have several ideas that I want to try, but I don't have the resources yet to be able to try them. I would love to get some help to be able to try them, to see what I can do. Creating a better Earth for our future generations, for ourselves, and creating something that's going to last a long time is an amazing thing. How many of you would love to do that? How many of you would love to join me to create something like that? Leave a comment down below in the comments. And don't forget to click to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell to get notified on updates, so that way you know when the latest video is coming out. Then talk about our lives. Our lives would change upside down. What happens to the planet if it can't survive? What happens to the planet if we're not protecting it? But what if the planet changes? Literally upside down. What do I mean by that? What if the North Pole is now the South Pole and the South Pole is the North Pole? What happens then? That's what this video is actually about. The Earth is actually slowly changing. The Earth has been changing for a while now. It's just now scientists have slowly noticed it. They've noticed the slower rotation. What if that happens? What are the implications? What if the North becomes the South, South becomes the North? That means the places where it used to be hot is now cold, and the places that were cold are now hot. What happens to the Earth? What happens to the planet? What happens to our days? What happens to our nights? What happens to the water, the waves, the environments, the plants? What happens to the amount of sunlight that we have? There's so many different questions that I have. What would you think? What would you think would happen if our planet turned upside down? What would happen in your idea? Would you be okay with that, or would you be completely lost? because the place that you live, that you thought was this beautiful oceanic view of the rivers or of the sea or of all this warm weather, now suddenly becomes cold. What would you do? My name is Jawad, and thanks for watching.